Hello everyone. For this week's lab we're looking at igneous rocks, and I want to take time to go through a few of them so that you're a little more comfortable with how they're classified and will feel confident about your answers in the charts in the lab. So you will be using two charts and the videos and the properties you observe in the videos to determine the names of each of these rocks. So of course, igneous rocks are made up of minerals, multiple minerals. We classify them for this lab primarily in terms of their grain size. We can call that texture as well. In their colors, light versus dark minerals, and the general abundance of the light versus dark minerals. So felsic igneous rocks have primarily light colored minerals, with the exception of obsidian, which is a glassy material, not really a mineral, but it's dark in color. Intermediate igneous rocks have generally equal parts light and dark minerals for this lab. And then mafic rocks have dark minerals. So we're looking at these two right here, and I will tell you right now, these are intermediate because generally equal in their light and dark minerals. You can kind of see that. Just use my nail here to point. The difference in these two is that this one has a little more dark material than this one, right? Some people might say it's felsic, and that's arguable, but for this lab, I would say it's intermediate, all right? And you can kind of see these crystals sparkling. They're a few millimeters in diameter. If you look here, I've got this for scale. So I'd say it's medium to coarse grained. Same thing here. All right. So when you're looking at these videos, that's what you're looking for. You're looking at the general abundances of light versus dark minerals, and whether something is, say, fine grained or medium grained or coarse grained. So let's show you an example of something that is fine grained right here. I can't see the crystals generally in this. I mean, I can see a little bit of dark material. It's mostly light minerals, so it leans toward felsic, fine grained felsic. And then we can use that information along with the information in the two classification charts to say what it is. The other thing you want to look out for are vesicles, and those are when you have holes in the igneous rock. That's another clue into the rock's classification. So I stick the nail into here just to point that out, give you a sense for the depth. This one, pretty fine grained. Can't see any visible crystals, so that's another important piece of its classification. It's a dark igneous rock, fine grained with vesicles. And in this lab too, there are 3 granites. So those are distinguished based on differences in grain size. I'll just pull out one granite. Pretty much every countertop that you hear of in a kitchen, people say it's granite countertops. But in fact, if you're a bit technical like me, you can distinguish in granite, like this one, it's got feldspar, a little amphibole, quartz. Sometimes it has a little hornblende as well. versus a different composition, which could also be a countertop, like this. And granites are felsic generally because of the amount of felsic materials they have in them, specifically quartz and feldspar. So when you see that, think felsic. And all the granites in this lab kind of have a distinctly pink color to them, so look for that in the lab. Some of them can be a bit visually similar, and like these two, it can be hard to see the difference in grain size. I'll point it out in the chart itself, but like this one on the left, fine grain, this one on the right is actually medium grained. So I understand the limits of this format, and so that's why I try to fill in the parts that maybe are hard to do this way. So if you have any trouble visualizing or seeing, let's say, if you have any trouble seeing what's on your screen and you need a hint, send me an email. I'm always happy to help.